mainly me that's heard. I'm going to give you this quiz review because normally it's a quiz that we take, but because of the long break, and I'm trying to get our test done before the little break, or not long break, but it's still a break. I'm just not going to do this quiz with y'all. But today I'm going to give you this paper and see what you know. So you can try it out and see if you get them all right. This is usually what the quiz looks like. But before we do that, I'm going to go over what I taught you yesterday and see what of this you know. That leaves us with how many lessons? What is today, Wednesday? Yeah. So anyway, we might kind of start the next stuff a little bit too. So how do you do this problem? You've got 1/3, and then in parentheses, you've got these other things. So what do you do with the number outside of parentheses? Yeah, you multiply it. And so I know when y'all can do the fraction on your calculator, that's fine. You can do this. I always do mine in parentheses. 1 divided by 3 times 21. You can't do a variable. And what is it? 7. Okay? Or you could think of just dividing it by 3. That's basically what you're doing, right? Since the 3's in the denominator. Or what's 1/3 of 21? Think of it that way. Anyway, if you multiply 1/3 times 21m, well, we already did it. What is it? 7. And don't forget to write your m. And then what's 1/3 of 27? What's 1/3 times 27? What is it? 9. So there's your answer. It would be B. Do y'all remember this from yesterday? So this won't take us long. Okay, let's do a couple more. Number 2. This one's written backwards, but it's okay. Still works the same way. Oops. What do you do with the -1? That's the one you distribute. So you multiply it by both things in there. What is -1 times 4? -4. This is what's confusing. That's a -1 times a -c. If you want to put a 1 there so that you can type it in your calculator, you can. But what's a negative times a negative? A positive. And then what's 1 times c? 1c. You could put this answer or this one. Y'all, that's the same thing. Okay? I would put this one because I don't write the understood one. But if you're new to all this and you want to put that one, put the 1 there. You can even, like I said, put a 1 right here. That way you can multiply better. Do y'all understand how it became positive? Yes. Okay. Let's do this one. It's the same thing. It has the numbers. They all have a number in front. What is -8 times 2? -16. Yep. What is -8 times -9? Since it's positive, you're going to put a plus sign. And then don't forget our little variable. Okay, is that good? And it happened to be our first answer choice. Okay, then the next thing that we went over yesterday was simplifying. So we'll do a couple of these. This is just a short review. What matches, like terms, like what looks alike? What goes with 1.7m squared? Is there anything that I can add with that? 2.5m squared. So in my calculator, again, I can't type my variable, so I know I'm going to have an m squared. What is 1.7 plus 2.5? It's got to be the 4.2. Okay, is everybody good with that? Now let's go to the next thing. Let's see. Do I have anything that matches the n? The 4 and the -1. There's several. So in my calculator, I would type in 6.5 minus 4 minus 1. Do y'all understand that? And what is 6.5 minus 4 minus 1? It's got to be a 1.5, right? And it's going to be positive. And then just don't forget your variable. Are y'all okay with that? Yeah, just combining like terms. There could be several of them. Just go through and look for all the ones that match. Okay, then the next thing that we went over was just rewriting this in a different way. So which one of these matches? And before I pick it, I might just rewrite it real quick. So the 3 goes over the 8. Does everybody see that? So I'm going to write 3/8, and don't forget my x's with that. Okay? Then what's my other one going to be? 2 over 8. And so if you'll notice, there's not a 2 over 8 up there. What happens to 2 over 8?
Simplify.
Yeah, you can simplify. You can type that in your calculator. 2 divided by 8, math, enter. So you get 3 over 8x, and if you put that in your calculator, or if you just do it in your head, you would get 1/4. Okay, you cannot combine these. They try to make you think you could on those answer choices. These are not like terms. We just talked about that in the previous problem. You only add or subtract what's alike. These are not alike. That has an x, that does not. It stays that way. You all understand that? Yes? Okay. So it was just, that one was just rewriting. All right, let's see what else we did yesterday. I think y'all are okay with that one. I'll do number 8. What do you do with that negative sign out there? Yeah, you multiply it. You distribute it to everything inside there. Okay? Basically, it just changes everything. What's a negative times a negative? So that's a 10p. And then the negative times that one, it changes it to a negative 4r. So a negative outside like that is just going to change everything inside. Okay? If you wanted to put a negative 1 there and then use your calculator to multiply, you can. Okay? Or you can even do negative 10p, I think, and it's, or 10, and it's going to change it to a positive. Okay. The last one, is this the last one on yesterday's stuff? Oh no, I've got 2 more. This one was a mental math problem, but we're not going to do mental math. We're just going to see if we can figure it out. T-shirts are $12.90 each. What's the cost of 4? How do you find that? Multiply. Okay, so you would just do $12.90 times 4. $51.66. There you go. I'm just assuming you're right. So you probably did it on this calculator. Does everybody understand how to do that? You just multiply. This is the last one. You just have to know what this means. What's the coefficient of the term 6pq? What is a coefficient? Do y'all remember? The coefficient is the number out front. So the term 6pq, right there, what's the number out front? 6. There you go, that's all it is. A coefficient is just the number that's in front of everything. Okay? It could have asked you, this coefficient would be 8. This coefficient would be 6. But it would be negative 6. Everybody good with this? Yeah? Okay. So really quick, just so I can see what you know, that's a different one. Hold on, where's yours? Here it is. We're going to go over this together. And I'm probably today, since I'm not really going to take anything up, we may just do a participation point thing. I want you to see what of these you know. You pick from up here, see which ones match, and then we'll go through it together, and then I may start on the next lesson, but we for sure won't finish it. But we're not going to quiz on this. You're welcome. Normally I do. This would just put us behind on our test. Okay, I'll pause this for a minute. So let me start it back up. Is this true, false, or open? And you might not know what open means. You're going to figure it out in just a second, though. Okay? So if I start with 24 plus 18 equals 20 plus 22. We got to figure out, is this true, is it false, or is it open? Well, what is 24 plus 18? That is something I can figure out. Anybody? 24 plus 18. What is it? 42. Okay. What is 20 plus 22? 42. 42. So is it true, false, or open? Is 42 the same number as 42? Yeah, it is the exact same thing. So it is true. You can just tell. Yep, that's true. They're equal. That's what it's saying. Hey, this equals this. We worked it out. That is true. Okay. All right, here's one. Maybe this will get you. 7 times 8 is 54. Is it true, false, or open?
False.
False. What is 7 times 8?
56.
56. Okay, if you weren't good at mental math, you're using your calculator to check yourself. But does everybody understand why this one is false? It doesn't equal. Okay, that's a false statement. Okay, what about this one? 2x minus 14 equals 54. So is it true, false, or open? What would your guess be? Open. It's going to be an open answer because you can solve it and x could equal some number. But anyway, that one's just open because it's a variable. This one I can work it out, true. This one I worked it out, it was false. This one, we've got a variable, so it's open. Let's see. Do I need to do any more of those? Maybe, no. If it's a variable, it's open. The other ones you just see if they're true or false. Okay. The next thing, it wants us to find a solution. So, or see if it's a solution. If I have 32 equals 2x plus 12. It wants to know, it's not asking us to solve yet. Okay, not yet. Is this a solution? What would you do to find that out? Anybody have an idea? It says, is this a solution? Could x be 6? What would I do to find that out? Plug it in there and see. Okay, all I'm going to do is instead of writing 2 times x, what am I going to write? 2 times 6. So let's see. Is 2 times 6 plus 12 going to equal that? What is 2 times 6? And I would just put that in my calculator at this point. I'm just going to see. 2 times 6 plus 12. It is 24. Does it equal? No. So is it a solution? No.
It would need to be 10, I think.
Okay, so let's see. If I have, yeah, you're right on that. But is this a solution? Is this a solution to this problem? 6m minus 8 equals negative 5. So again, what do I do to see if it works? I plug it in. Okay, and you can type it in your calculator, 6 times 1/2 minus 8 if you want to. Okay? Look, I'll write it down. 6 times 1/2 minus 8. Watch. 6 times 1/2 minus 8. Oh, y'all can't even see that. I'm sorry. 6 times 1/2 minus 8. Does it equal? Yeah, so is it a solution? Yes, that's all it is. Yes, it's a solution. Another way they'll write it in college algebra, and we'll do it in algebra 2, and I think we'll do it chapter 4 or 5. They may tell you, okay, this is your equation, and they might write something like this. They're just saying, hey, plug it in. This is function notation. It's weird, but it's something you'll see eventually down the road. Okay, if it's written like that, it just means, hey, plug that number in. Have y'all ever seen anything like that before? Like on standardized tests? No. Okay. All right, so then let's see if I want to do another one. How am I on time? We've got 20 minutes. I thought about doing an ACT problem as well because I want to leave some of this for tomorrow. I guess I'll stop here and we'll do some ACT stuff. So that's it for today. We don't have our paper till tomorrow, so we're getting ahead. Okay, let me pause our video or stop our video.